Silent dominance in the real world. The first time you try it. You're in a meeting. You present an idea. Someone says, "I don't think that's the right approach." Your chest tightens. Your brain starts assembling arguments. Your mouth prepares to speak. This is the moment. The old version of you would say, "Well, actually, if you look at the numbers and consider the timeline and the constraints," the new version does something different. You inhale slowly and say, "Noted." Then you stop. Silence. The room feels heavier. The person who challenged you waits for more. Nothing comes. Now they feel exposed. They must either clarify or retreat. You didn't fight. You didn't defend. You held frame. And frame control is power control. Script 1. Handling criticism without explaining. Let's build practical responses. Situation. You handled that poorly. Old response. I was under pressure and there were factors you didn't see. New response. What specifically? Short, calm, direct. Now the burden shifts. If they cannot articulate specifics, their criticism weakens. If they do articulate specifics, you can respond once. I'll review that. Then stop. No self-defense speech, no emotional justification. Powerful people don't panic at critique, they process it. Script 2. When someone questions your decision, you should have done it differently. Old response, I considered that, but the reason I chose this was because. New response, I made that decision intentionally. Pause. If they push, I've evaluated the alternatives. Pause again. Notice something. You're not hostile, you're not defensive, you're final. Finality feels strong. Script 3. In relationships. Over-explaining is most common in emotional situations. Your partner says, "You don't care about me." Your nervous system reacts. You want to defend your love, list your sacrifices, explain your intentions. But that emotional flood weakens your presence. Try this. I care. Silence. Let them talk. Often, people accuse because they want reassurance, not explanation. If you flood them with justification, it feels desperate. If you respond calmly and briefly, it feels grounded. Grounded energy calms emotional storms. The hidden rule of boundaries. Weak boundaries are explained. Strong boundaries are stated. Example. I can't lend you money. That's it. No, I'm sorry, it's just that I have bills and I'm trying to save and... Explanation invites negotiation. Statement ends negotiation. If they pressure, it's not possible. Repeat calmly. You don't owe everyone access to your reasoning, especially when the reasoning is personal. Why people test you more when you explain. When you over-explain, you signal emotional investment, and emotionally invested people are easier to influence. If someone sees you react strongly to disagreement, they learn this is his trigger. Triggers are leverage. Leverage invites pressure. But when someone cannot find your trigger, they stop testing. Because testing requires feedback, and silence gives very little feedback. The art of eye contact. Silent dominance isn't only verbal, it's physical. When challenged, keep your shoulders relaxed. Maintain neutral facial expression. Hold eye contact 1 to 2 seconds longer than comfortable. Then look away calmly. Not aggressive, not staring, just steady. Most people break eye contact first when they feel unsure. If you remain steady,
they subconsciously register stability. Stability equals leadership in the human brain. The story of Marcus. Marcus was brilliant, but invisible. Every time someone interrupted him, he explained more. Every time someone disagreed, he defended longer. One day, his mentor told him, "You talk like you're on trial." That hit him. He began experimenting. Shorter answers, fewer defenses, more pauses. In meetings, when interrupted, he simply said, "Let me finish," calmly, and continued. No apology, no tension. Something unexpected happened. People stopped interrupting, not because he became aggressive, but because he became centered. Centered people are hard to move, and people respect what they can't easily move. The psychological flip. When you stop over-explaining, two things happen. Weak people become uncomfortable. Strong people become intrigued. Weak personalities rely on emotional reactions to feel control. When you don't give them that reaction, they feel powerless. Strong personalities recognize composure as strength. They test you less, and sometimes they align with you, because power respects power. The one-sentence rule. Here's a powerful exercise. When challenged, respond in one sentence, then stop. Example, "That won't work." Response, "It will." Pause. If they ask why, because the fundamentals are aligned. Pause again. No long speeches. If they genuinely want discussion, they will ask intelligently. If they want dominance, they will grow frustrated. Either way, you don't chase validation. The silence tolerance exercise. Practice this daily. When someone finishes speaking, wait 2 full seconds before responding. It feels unnatural, but it builds emotional regulation, verbal control, perceived confidence. Most people rush to fill silence because silence feels threatening. If you can exist comfortably inside silence, you signal internal security. Security is magnetic. The dangerous balance. Let's be clear. There's a difference between calm authority and emotional shutdown. If you stop explaining but also stop listening, you become rigid. Rigidity breaks. Flexibility with composure dominates. You can listen deeply, you can acknowledge concerns, but you do not need to emotionally unravel yourself in the process. Power is not about silence alone. It is about controlled expression. The social experiment. Try this in your next disagreement. Instead of explaining why you're right, ask, "What outcome are you aiming for?" This shifts the conversation from ego to objective. Powerful people focus on outcomes. Insecure people focus on defending their position. When you focus on outcomes, you appear strategic. Strategy elevates status. The hidden fear you must conquer. At the core of over-explaining lies one fear. If they misunderstand me, I lose control. But the truth is, control does not come from being understood. It comes from being grounded. You can't control how others interpret you. You can only control how you carry yourself. And carrying yourself with quiet confidence is more persuasive than any argument. The long-term effect. When you consistently stop over-explaining, people ask fewer unnecessary questions. People interrupt less. People challenge less emotionally. Your words carry more weight because scarcity creates value and emotional containment creates mystery. Mystery creates authority. The shift in energy. You'll notice something powerful. The more you stop explaining, the less you feel the need to. You become comfortable being misunderstood temporarily. You become okay with disagreement. You become independent from constant approval, and that independence is visible. People sense it. They lean towards it, because humans follow those who don't desperately seek to be followed. The final scene of Part 3. Daniel now enters rooms differently. He speaks less, but when he speaks, people listen. He doesn't rush to defend. He doesn't scramble to clarify. He doesn't seek emotional agreement. He decides and stands. Victor no longer tests him because there is nothing reactive to test. Power shifted quietly, not through aggression, but through control.
The dark side of silence. When silence stops being strength. Silence can signal power, but it can also signal manipulation. There's a thin line between calm authority and calculated emotional control. Many people misunderstand Machiavellian restraint. They believe it means withhold emotion, stay unreadable, keep people guessing, reveal nothing. Used incorrectly, this creates fear, and fear without respect breeds quiet enemies. In Renaissance courts, rulers who spoke too little without warmth were obeyed, but secretly plotted against. Because humans tolerate dominance, but they resent coldness. If you become emotionally distant to appear powerful, you may gain authority, but lose loyalty. And loyalty is the deeper form of power. The manipulator's version of silence. There is a darker strategy used by insecure individuals. They withdraw communication to create anxiety. They remain vague to force others to chase clarity. They refuse to explain simply to feel superior. This is not dominance. This is insecurity masked as mystery. True strength does not create confusion deliberately. It creates clarity without excess. The manipulator uses silence to destabilize others. The leader uses silence to stabilize themselves. The difference is intention, and intention is everything. Strategic ambiguity, the elite tool. Now, let's explore something more refined. Powerful individuals often use strategic ambiguity, not to confuse, but to maintain flexibility. In politics and high-level negotiation, explaining too much locks you into positions. If you reveal every reason behind a decision, you limit maneuverability. Strategic ambiguity allows adaptation, deniability, adjustment, reframing. For example, instead of saying, "I rejected the deal because your financial model was flawed in these 5 areas," a powerful negotiator might say, "The alignment isn't there yet." Simple, clean, open-ended. Now they preserve space to return later if needed. Over-explanation removes options, and power protects options. The psychology of controlled mystery. Humans are drawn to mystery, but not chaos. Controlled mystery signals depth. Chaotic mystery signals instability. If you answer everything immediately, people stop thinking about you. If you reveal everything emotionally, people stop valuing your access. But if you reveal selectively, you become intriguing. The mind fills in gaps, and what the mind builds itself, it protects. This is why leaders who speak carefully are often perceived as wiser, even if they speak less. The brain associates scarcity with value. But remember, mystery without warmth creates distance. Mystery with calm presence creates magnetism. When you should explain. Now we correct the misunderstanding. There are moments where explanation is not weakness, it is leadership. You should explain when teaching a team, clarifying direction for execution, repairing trust after error, building long-term loyalty, mentoring someone who depends on clarity. The difference is emotional tone. If you explain from fear, it feels weak. If you explain from grounded clarity, it feels instructive. The powerful do not avoid explanation. They avoid emotional justification. There's a difference. Justification sounds like, I did this because I didn't have another option and I was under pressure, and leadership explanation sounds like, we chose this path because it aligns with long-term strategy. No apology, no anxiety, no rambling. Authority can explain, it just doesn't beg. The balance between warmth and dominance. This is the final mastery. If you are all dominance, people fear you. If you are all warmth, people dismiss you. The elite balance both. Warmth builds loyalty. Dominance builds respect. Too much silence creates emotional distance. Too much explanation creates emotional dependence. The key is controlled access. Example: when someone challenges you publicly, respond briefly, hold frame. Later, privately, explain calmly if necessary. You protect status publicly. You build trust privately. That's advanced social intelligence. The long-term game. Machiavelli understood something profound. Power is not maintained by force alone. It is maintained by perception and stability. If people constantly feel confused around you, they become cautious. If people constantly feel belittled, they become resentful. But if you feel you are stable, clear, and measured, they relax, and people relax around leaders they trust. Trust creates voluntary loyalty. Voluntary loyalty is stronger than fear. The corporate case study. A senior executive named Adrian mastered this balance. He rarely spoke in meetings. When he did, it was decisive, but he never embarrassed anyone publicly. If someone made a mistake, he addressed it privately. He didn't over-explain decisions publicly, but when someone genuinely sought growth, he gave detailed guidance one-on-one. People respected him, but they also felt safe around him. That combination is rare, and rare energy becomes magnetic. The danger of ego. Silence becomes dangerous when ego fuels it. If your silence is meant to prove superiority, people will sense it. If your silence is meant to protect emotional control, people will respect it. The ego says, I won't explain because you don't deserve it. Authority says, I don't need to explain right now. Subtle difference, massive impact. The ultimate test. Here is the final test of this philosophy. When someone misunderstands you, can you remain calm? When someone dislikes your decision, can you stay grounded? When someone questions your authority, can you answer once and stop? If yes, you've mastered internal power. If not, your need for validation still controls you. Power is internal first, external second. The final transformation of Daniel. Months turned into a year. Daniel was no longer the anxious strategist defending every move. He became precise, measured, calm. When challenged, he listened fully, responded once, then paused. Sometimes he explained further, but only strategically, never emotionally. Victors stopped testing him. Colleagues stopped probing him. Clients began trusting him faster. He didn't become colder, he became centered, and centered people are hard to destabilize. The deepest lesson. Never explaining yourself is not about silence alone. It is about emotional containment. It is about speaking from choice, not fear. It is about understanding that you don't owe everyone your reasoning. You don't owe everyone your emotional transparency. You don't owe everyone your energy. Reserve explanation for those who deserve clarity. Withhold it from those who seek dominance. That discernment is power. The final cinematic scene. Florence at sunset. The city quiet. A diplomat writes under candlelight. He has learned that power does not shout. It does not defend itself endlessly.
It does not beg to be understood. It observes, it chooses, it speaks when necessary, it stands when challenged, and in standing calmly, it becomes immovable. Centuries later, the lesson remains. The more you chase approval through explanation, the weaker you appear. The more you master emotional restraint, the stronger you become. Silence is not absence, it is control, and control is influence.